Welcome back to the second half. I don't know if we've made decisions about what's going to happen, but we were in a lovely conversation about the warp. So let's let these guys finish their warpiness. Heretics that they are.
I was just because Sid was saying he didn't know a lot about demons or the warp, and I was just saying that from a fluff point of view, the warp is effectively a conglomeration of soul energies. The idea is that when people die, their souls go into the warp as such, and that, for example, the Eldar would constantly reincarnate from that sort of pool of warp energy as such. So when you died, you'd come back again as in a new form with the same sort of distinct soul. But that demons are effectively that soul energy which has never been incarnated into a living form. So they still have the same sort of independent identity as a regular soul does, but they are made of pure warp energy, have never lived. Hence why they're sometimes called the Neverborn as well.
Yeah. Chaos Space Marines always refer to him as Neverborn.
Yeah.
It's like every emotion, every thought that most of the sentient species in the galaxy have is reflected in the warp in some way. I thought I put forward the thing of we need to get the hell out of here and figure out what the bigger picture is going on right now.
I mean, we've got the big baddie, Gene Stealer left, and then the little group left, and that's it, right?
We don't know. That's it. That's what we can see right now. Yeah. No. So we could kill those ones and have no idea whether we've actually dealt with the problem or just a single group.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at it from the bigger picture angle of.
I mean, at least that the vote very much at least move the Valkyrie over like that direction.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we'll move it forward once we get there, but
what we could do is take our turn first, move over this way. You can flame the group on the ground, and we can shoot the Gene Stealer at a distance without having to worry about.
Kalrak just flips him the bird as he flies right by him. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, I guess it's ultimately Lycus' choice, right? He's technically in charge, but.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got this flame you haven't fired yet, so I know it's burning a hole. Pardon the pun in you.
Burning a hole in your
quite
pocket.
Literally is the thing.
So it's ultimately Lycus. You got to make a choice here, and then I'll fly it.
Yeah.
But
there's three people look at you saying orders.
I mean, I think I'll fly.
I'd say
Antipho should reload the multi-laser. Eshairr's on the multi-laser because I think Eshairr has better ballistic skill than Antipho does. Plus, Antipho was on missiles, and the missiles are out, so he's free at the moment.
Yep.
And then we could do the flyby, I guess, if you want to go full on Apocalypse Now on somebody.
I'd say at least get over to either there or maybe there.
All right. Well, if we go to the second one, we can fly by.
The main Gene Stealer has left.
So I mean, we could do a flyby, right?
Yeah,
all right,
and then we can
do that first. It's our turn.
And then we can interrupt and just finish off these guardsmen because I don't know what kind of armor this thing has.
Defense 5, resilience 14.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Hover, seal. I mean, it's a combat transport. I mean, it can take some hits.
How much glory do we have? 2?
I count 2.
Yeah.
Plus, we get we kind of get a freebie if we get a complication with the laser. We ignore the first time that happens because it's steadfast.
Yeah, we can save the glory and then.
All right. So we're flying. Yep, that's what we're doing. Flying by. Okay.
Sure.
Roger. We have reached a consensus.
Great. Before you consensitize, I'm spending 1 ruin to have the Gene Stealer dive into the building and...
Excuse me, it's an adversary. It's the 3 ruin, you mean?
Oh, well then I don't spend any because I don't have that much.
Well, actually, it's 3 ruin.
Oh, sure. What are you guys doing then?
All right,
we move and it moves, I think.
Yeah, I'm flying.
It dives deeper into the building, removing itself from this combat. Unless you want to blow up the building to chase it inside. Which you may well could. I don't know.
3 or 2. So, all right, I got 4 to fly, which is, it's what, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so where did you want me to go, Lycus? Or,
I don't know. Just go over there or something.
okay. Yeah, we've got some range. All right, so we're gonna go here. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna rotate.
Was this your roll over here? You got 4?
Yeah, I got 4.
All right. Okay, these guys are also going to duck down into the building.
Okay. And then...
So apparently they don't want to get flamed.
Or shot. I mean, I wouldn't want to get shot with a Gatling laser either.
I mean, we could still light up the building.
Yeah, I think if we're still
okay
in
with
combat,
that.
we should definitely reload now, just in case more stuff comes out.
I think
Yeah, go ahead and do the reload.
that'd be
I will
Antipho.
reload.
It's just
Oh,
action.
okay, we're just gonna.
That works too. I mean, yeah, it essentially would just be you reload and then we piss off into the distance. That's what it would come down to. So, where is this?
That works too.
Oh,
Okay.
over here. Okay.
You all reload. Several seconds after you begin flying away, a ton of Grey Knights show up and begin saying, like, purge. Someone's like, find the Xenos, slaughter them! And they begin chasing them down into the building.
Nice. I don't want to chase gene stealers into buildings. I've done that, but I've done that in other games and it never goes well.
Cinemas will need to hear about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably
Should, call him now.
as will Peace
No,
if we can
you
reach
got
her.
to
I'm
use
sorry.
the Batman voice.
Yes, I will call him now.
That was the best use of a complication in the
Is this-
history of this game.
Lycus, is there something wrong with your voice? Why you sound odd?
I think that the gaseous air kind of damaged my voice. I should be fine later.
I thought you picked up a sudden low stick habit.
I probably part of that was in the air.
Lycus, why are you imitating Kalrak? It's a little odd.
I'm not on purpose.
I'm Batman.
Where's the trigger?
Lycus will call up Cinevis.
You get put on hold for about 2 minutes, and then you get Calidus Cinevis. He's somewhere inside the Imperial Palace with this large Roman column-esque orange painted walls. You can see on the Vox that Colm Humes is in the background, covered in Gene Stealer blood. There are combat servitors just wandering around, missing limbs. There's Gene Stealers all over the place that seem to be dead. And he's just like, what? Who is this?
Colm Hughes, is that the governor?
Yes.
It's Lycus Centauro.
Why are you talking like that, Lycus?
I was brought up into the gaseous air and damaged my vocal cords.
All
I'm
right.
fine though.
We have a Gene Stealer problem on planet. We just
Yes.
got done defending the governor.
Is he dead?
No, he's not dead, but he does hate you. You did just kill his brother several minutes ago. He was complaining to me non-stop right before a number of the nobility threw off their cloaks and they had 4 arms.
It was actually Tyrone Aspects. We were close to it. His brother was a conspirator with him.
Did you hear that, Colm? It wasn't Lycus. It was the evil cultists. You can trust our word for it.
Tyrone Aspects is also dead.
Colm is like vomiting.
I also have to report that Gene Stealers goes into the position.
Well, there are Gene Stealer reports coming in from all over the place, so I'm calling you back to the Imperial Palace.
Yes,
We need to come
I
up
will
with a
give you-
plan.
I'll give you a full report then.
Right. Make sure Eshairr and Kalrak are in attendance. My
will.
knowledge of Gene Stealer physiology and tactics somewhat lacking. I've never encountered them before. They are the ones who will probably be most schooled.
We will right away.
He hangs up. You can see him cleaning a power sword off with like some sick Gene Stealer blood, just like wiping it on somebody's shirt.
Is it a force sword or power sword?
It's whatever the cool psyker one is.
Okay,
Force sword.
Force sword.
That one then.
I believe
Yeah.
we should be on our way.
Yeah, we'll already be back on we're headed that way before you even finish that call.
We will return the ship and then give back the.
Well, he's already hung up, so you're just
Yeah.
soliloquy to yourself.
I'm talking to the people on the ship.
Okay.
But as soon as he would have said, "I need you back," I would have,
Yes.
pulled a Yui and we would be headed that back way. Headed that way.
When you make your way back, you can see that the city is in pandemonium, and you don't get any request for orders from any of the units you've co-opted so far. It sounds like all of the arbites have started refusing orders at this point, because if you recall, the arbites were chasing the cultists, and then they ended up in close combat. You managed to guide them out of it, but now some of the arbites are turning out to be Genestealer cultist allies. They're all attacking each other. Nobody's sure who to trust. Order has broken down extremely rapidly to the point where they're refusing communications, and they're simply holding place until they can get a hold of someone that they can trust in the arbite chain of command. Probably several people will be executed for this heresy. In addition, your forces have begun teleporting across the city in order to cleanse the area you specified. The rest of your forces seem to be engaging in random hotspots, but there are hundreds, perhaps thousands of locations just on the top level of the hive. Down hive, there are few, if any, reports, and most of them are quite negative, like, oh god, they're coming. The one piece of good news is that there haven't been any reports of chaos cultist activity.
Huh?
When you arrive at the palace, you're given priority landing, and you land at the governor's own landing pad, where your local inquisitor, Caldas Cinevis, gestures for you to join him in the emergency elevator down to the Inquisitorial hidden monastery fortress.
We will go there immediately.
When you get in the elevator with him, he just expects
The
one of you
Batcave.
to press the button. You know, he stands next to it very imposingly, but doesn't actually press the button.
I press.
Just
the button.
imagining Lycus just in power armor, just
Some
Oh,
cheesy
God.
I'll
elevator
press the
music
button.
starts playing.
As you're going down, he says, "It's curious. I've never had my force sword be so ineffective during combat. It appeared that the shadow and the warp is affecting more than just psyker powers. Sword, not useless, but certainly not at its full effectiveness."
And
Lord
Tifo
Inquisitor,
files that away as he's momentarily weakened.
Wow.
when you said you fought the Gene Stealers in the Imperial Palace, were there pure Gene Stealers, or were they all the hybrid forms?
They all appeared to be hybrids and allies of hybrids. Regular, normal Imperial citizens who seem to have sold their souls to serve this cult.
And
And
we
Tifo
did
grabs a
encounter
power bar.
one of their pure kind.
I don't know what
Some-
that means. My knowledge of gene stealers is quite limited. I'm afraid I
They
didn't get
were more alien-like.
I understand that. I'm looking forward to a briefing when we get to the briefing room. I'm hoping to spend a few, we got about 10 seconds before this elevator reaches the bottom. I just want to enter a sort of calm meditation, so let's just stop talking.
He won't take our Gene Stealer elevator pitch.
Understandable.
The doors open, and he leads you all out with a practice cloak flare in the process. To the nearest conference room, covered with sandwiches all over the table and a glass of fresh lemonade. And he grabs a sandwich and starts scarfing it down and sits at the head of the table and says, "Now, do either of the two of you know anything about gene stealer cults?"
Tifo pulls the plate over in front of him.
only what was
Like smacks Tifo's hands.
indoctrinated, psycho indoctrinated. Never fought them in person.
Likewise, the last time I why Craftworld fought these things was when I was not in the warrior caste, but I know what I know from research, what I've been told.
Please share.
I'll look to Kalrak if he wants to go first, or I'm happy to.
You can go first.
So, Lord, the Tyranids usually hearken to a call by the Gene Stealer cults on a planet. Once you mentioned that the Inquisitor Pisha believed the Tyranids were coming, that was my first suspicion, was there may be a cult here.
He's giving you this is the part I know.
All right, so a cult starts with a single pure Gene Stealer, the full alien form. It begins infecting people. Those who are infected are controlled by the parasite that it injects into them. They then seek to breed with others. The offspring of such coupling is a deformed creature, and as the generations continue to intermingle, they return to a more human state. Eventually, the pinnacle of that evolution is a creature which is indistinguishable from other humans, and then that individual's offspring will be another pure Gene Stealer. So if they're at the point where there are already multiple pure Gene Stealers, then this is truly a damned world, because we don't have no idea how far that cult can spread. If there's still only the single patriarch leading them, then there is a chance to potentially defeat the cult. Maybe it may be early enough to turn away the Hive Fleet, maybe not. But it's certainly the best action we could take right now to delay or prevent the Hive Fleet from reaching us, would be to cut out this infection now.
As I mentioned before, I was reassigning several Imperial Inquisition teams from the other planets. They will not arrive for days. The cult does not seem to have spread anywhere else, although I have received reports that fighting has begun over the Forge World. The Adeptus Mechanicus seems to be in an unusual state. This team is specifically tasked with coming up with a plan to find this Gene Stealer Patriarch, any Maguses that they have, and defeating their leadership. I am tasking what remains of the Imperial Guard, your forces on planet, and anything I can get my hands on to hunting down every last Gene Stealer cultist and wiping it out. You all should be commended for your excellent work in temporarily apprehending and lethally executing Slaanesh cultist leader Talrond. Oh, God damn it, he wouldn't say Slaanesh. Cult leader Talrond Aspects.
If I may,
Yes.
you seem to have gone down rather easily. Are we sure this wasn't some form of clone or some other sort of fuckery?
I'm not going to say that such things aren't possible, but sometimes a man is just a man. Often we invent enemies that are more deadly than they need to be. Sometimes one's greatest effectiveness is not in their own physical power, but in their organizational skills and ability to bring many to one point.
Yes, I believe he wasn't quite fully indoctrinated, just enough to give him better abilities to coerce him to stay within those lines. He was attempting to make how he put it, dark inquisition, uniting the forces of chaos along with the was it Black Mechanicum?
Dark
Mechanicum?
Dark Mechanicum.
Dark Mechanicum. I believe that might be part of the issues going on with the Forge World. But at the moment, I believe we have far worse.
Aspects' base of operations was in the area where we uncovered this cult, so he may have been aware of its existence. And of course, Tyranids destroying this world doesn't serve him or his cult at all. So if he was featuring himself some form of heretic inquisitor, then potentially his lair may include some notes or research that might help lead us to the origins of this cult.
Is that
Although-
lair intact? Flashback to Lycus setting
It's
the
on
cult room on
fire.
fire, then a Hellstrike missile hitting the side of the building.
Partially.
There was a dark ritual area in the room.
He pulls out a comm bead and begins shouting into it. No! I want you to teleport back to Aspex's. Put out all of the fires, secure any information at once. Grandmaster, do it now. He stands up and grabs another sandwich directly out from your hand and begins eating it and says, come up with your plan. Locate the leadership of this cult and eliminate it immediately. I
Is
don't
it
know if that's going to stop them, but
Is it possible that Aspects was a pawn of these creatures?
it is possible.
That was one theory up in my head, as in he was.
It's also possible that the reverse is true. I would not put him past such a leader to hold a card like this in reserve. A huge attack during which he, at his last moments escaping from us, might be able to recover his forces and make a strike on our now weakened military.
Well, Lycus cutting him in half would have certainly put a damper on that.
Make no mistake, he is a dangerous foe, and a leaderless chaos cult is certainly nowhere near as powerful, especially if he's the one holding together this dark alliance. But a cultist, any heretic that lives, is still quite dangerous on their own. His remaining forces may be in hiding, leaderless, bereft of his guidance, but that does not make them any less dangerous. However, we must accommodate our forces at hand. Our enemy has changed, but our mission has not. He snatches another sandwich off the plate, then walks out the door.
Sir, before you leave,
Tifa
Lycus will hand back
grabs
his
two.
emblem. I believe this belongs to you.
Yes, indeed it does. I hope you found it useful.
It was most useful.
I've
Just
proven
staring at him in power armor.
You have proven yourself to be somewhat more trustworthy than I expected, Lycus.
Thank you.
Antipho contemplates playing his card.
Really? Really?
I can play my card, declare the Inquisitor adversary.
Really?
Make the move
But,
now.
I mean,
It's
if
like,
you want to declare him a personal adversary, go
I
ahead.
mean, he did just admit to being temporarily weakened.
I don't-
His sword wasn't functioning right.
I love the idea that he's just declared Lycus more trustworthy. He's going to walk away, check his rosette, and find it was used to unlock his own personal file in the
Yeah.
archives. Trustworthy, not trusting.
Okay.
actually, now you mentioned that, it's like I will admit one thing.
Yes.
While I was looking up research on trying to find who Talon Aspects was aligned with, I did look into your file.
You unlocked my file with my rosette.
I did. I wish to have known the person who I was working.
He just turns and leaves, tucking his rosette back into his hat's rosette holder pin.
Well, I guess we should now be on our way.
Strange you didn't ask us to inform on each other again. You must really retired.
Yeah, that is very out of sorts because
Yeah.
did have to let him know that Lycus uttered the name of a chaos
You want to
god.
chase him down and tell him that?
No, he didn't ask, so it
You'll
doesn't
ask
need to be
later.
said.
Or
What he doesn't know won't hurt Lycus.
no, I
wonder
need
if
to.
this. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, I wonder if this lockdown we implemented would still be of our benefit in terms of containing the cult while we seek them out.
Wouldn't hurt.
It is hard to tell, and the only one that can denounce the lockdown is currently in haptic shock, I believe.
Well, it's very likely that some of the people helping to enforce a lockdown are part of the conspiracy themselves.
Yes, the Arbites were. It did sound like some of the Arbites were converted. At least for now, we can use the time to head on over back to where Tauren Aspect's place was, and hope that any information that we needed is not burned or destroyed.
In terms of tracking down this genes to the cult, it's actually of our benefit that some of the nobles were infected because, as I mentioned, it spreads through inbreeding, basically. That if we can identify the genetic records of a noble that was infected, we can go back through their lineage and try and identify where the infection began.
Sounds boring.
Mm. Yes, but sometimes boring is efficient. Then I suppose we should get to the records and try to find at least one person.
That was just a suggestion, but I mean, as you suggest, the Aspects' headquarters will be of limited use after a time. So perhaps we should
Maybe
see
you
what the
want
Grey
to
Knights have
split
found.
the party.
I don't think it's a wise decision at this point.
We can cover more ground that way.
We can cover more ground, but beings that trust it.
Don't we have laptops that we can bring with us and connect to satellite internet?
You're about to say
and-
Skynet.
Skynet, yeah. Connect to satellite internet and pull up records and stuff so we could be working while we're traveling to that place.
I don't think we have anything with a new spheric interface.
Maybe we should ask for one.
It just looks at Lycus. Maybe we should.
See, everyone turns and looks at Lycus.
Wait, what are we asking for?
Something with a new spheric interface. Tap into the data streams that the Mechanicus has running on this planet, so we don't have to split our forces.
I can attempt to get that. Is that even a thing that we can possess?
And it's not a specific gear. You probably treat it as like the same test to acquire a data slate.
Yeah,
Well, all the new sphere is basically a wireless network because nothing is wireless in the 40K universe except for the Mechanicus' new sphere.
Yeah, and you have to have certain implants or certain pieces of technology in order to see it and interact with it.
It's warp fuckery wireless. Is that?
Yeah, not really. It's more like a oh god, what would it be called?
It's almost like AR, really.
Yeah, kinda. So yeah, you have to have specific implants or whatever. Like a lot of like tech priests can see it. They can literally just see streams of data and stuff.
So Google Glass.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. So when two tech priests walk into a room together, they're sort of broadcasting their credentials to each other that they can see through their optics.
It's like a massive ad hoc network kind of thing. Anyway, it's really pretty much the only way to. It's the only equivalent to taking a laptop with you and accessing data on the go. It's about as close as you're going to get.
The other option is if you're worried about boring data research tasks, surely there are menials in the Imperial Palace that could be assigned to such tasks to report back to us. They're not going to expose themselves to horrific corruption by simply researching a family's genetic history.
Right.
Yeah, they don't know what they're looking for.
Does Gene Stealer stuff cause corruption too?
No, because it's Xeno stuff. It's
I
not
would say that's a little
chaos
bit different.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind a lot of gene stealers are psychic, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're not inherently of the same material.
I think the latter option would be better.
Yeah.
Neural interface you're speaking of sounds a bit difficult to obtain as at the moment.
It certainly would be complicated.
So your plan is to co-opt some Imperial Inquisitorial acolytes and adepts and lesser flunkies to do your job for you?
Yeah, find some like
Please.
data intramenials or something and give them the
As-
task.
Is there still a Sisters of Battle commandery on the planet, Arthur?
There is one squad of Sisters of Battle that have been recently reassigned and are just moving into the palace.
Do they have like non-militant sisters as well, like Hospitalars?
Oh yeah,
Dialogus,
there are
Famulus,
plenty of
etc.?
those across the planet. You
Okay,
saw one
'cause-
of their convents get destroyed.
Yeah, because the orders Famulus are usually used by noble families to sort of like plan out who's gonna marry who's gonna breed with who to breed the strongest children. You know, they might actually have genetic records as well that might be worthwhile. Like even they'd probably be if there were Sisters Famulus on the planet that could be assigned to actually researching the genetic history of some of the nobles that were definitely corrupted. That might be they've got the knowledge and the technology to sort of make more sense of it than just a data pusher.
Right. Can I attempt to contact one of those?
Yes. How big of a team are you looking to put on this research? Are we talking like 1 people, 5 people, 100, 1,000?
Maybe 10 to 20.
Okay. I would like you to make one of them resource type rolls. I'm setting the difficulty at 5.
Resource roll. Is that influence?
Yep.
Yeah, like to acquire something.
Yes.
Effectively, you're acquiring a service rather than a product.
That's right. Okay, so
This is as burning wheel as it gets, friends.
it's 4 plus. I'll use my Inquisitor Acolyte ability.
You're gonna
Which adds
invoke the
5.
name of your Inquisitor.
Yeah, since
All
it's
right,
it's Adeptus Sororitas.
but I want you to
correct?
say it, but in your Batman voice.
Under the guidance of Talvis Cinevis, I request this action.
Very well.
So, so 4 plus 5 for
Yep,
rank
for your rank, plus 1 for your nice clothing.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Is he wearing his nice clothing over his power armor?
Probably not.
I didn't think so, especially given
Probably
that
still
you're
in my power armor. So
just in a fight.
I mean, it's video game rules, right? You still get the bonus even if you have the armor on over the top of it.
No,
Yeah, you just swap the item in your inventory before you have the
Yeah.
conversation, swap back in afterwards.
no, I'm not going to choose that.
Like he pulls up the collar of his shirt or
I
his
just-
nice shirt. It's like, oh, I got.
I just press this button in the power armor and I just step out in my suit, James Bond style.
Tony Stark.
Yeah. Doesn't quite work out that way, I'm pretty sure.
No, it doesn't.
Anything else? Is that it?
It should be yeah, your influence plus your your sheet's missing the acolyte bonus. That's why you're missing from your sheet. The acolyte bonus, I believe, is +2.
Yeah, we're
I'll just
rank
confirm that.
5 now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's every archetype has a base bonus
Yeah.
as well.
I might have missed it and not added it.
Yeah, that's right. That's not on your actual sheet. I'll just
So
double-check
it'd be
what it is.
11. 5, 6, 7.
Acolyte is +2, yes. So 11 dice if you're not wearing your nice clothes.
All right.
Take a chance, roll the dice.
A lot.
Success.
4,
You got
5,
7
Six,
there.
that's 6.
5, 6. I have 8.
Okay. You want to upshift?
Sure.
You get talking to your newly arrived, no nonsense Sisters of Battle. They talk to people they know, and they pull in more and more people. You end up with a staff of about 100 people in several minutes, including your armory contact, who ends up getting involved, trying to backtrace where some of the weapons that were involved in the palace attack were from. The Order's Famulus gets involved. They immediately begin noticing, if any of the nobles involved had a Famulus, contact, it would be immensely obvious that there would be a corruption in their bloodline. So they start sorting through all of the noble families that not only didn't have one, but weren't planning to marry into anyone. So they begin filtering data extremely quickly.
Excellent.
Shall we round them up?
I mean, it's
How
literally
much-
been minutes. It's
Yeah.
it's going to be, a bit of time before they get out, do some investigation, some interrogation
Yeah, that's-
themselves.
Essentially, they're doing that while we're hoping that there's something left.
They have a good start. They know where they're looking for at the beginning.
Yeah, I think we just go ahead and go over to Tower and Aspect's place. That's hopefully stable enough to get the data that we need if it's even still there, not destroyed.
I mean, hopefully one missile didn't take out a hive spire.
It was also on fire.
Yeah, it's fire though.
When you arrive, the Grey Knights are finishing clearing everything up, but they have set up. They've blocked off all the windows and all the battle damage so that no one can see them inside, so that they can remain secret and anonymous. When you descend by rope down into Talrond Aspects' place, they've begun kicking over all of his ham and bean MRE rations. They're sorting through his wine collection to look for any signs of heresy, but they do find some data slates that seem to contain his notes. The Grand Master hands over, I think that's what they're called, right? The leader.
Yep, he's a Grandmaster.
Hands over one of his data slates where he has partially uncovered some information.
Thank you.
He says nothing and turns to continue to direct his battle brothers.
Sounds about right.
There's no full sentences here. There's only a couple keywords from different things that are being decrypted. Assumptions have been made, but it looks like the plan that Talrond has written in his personal diaries involves the cult keeping an eye on the budding gene stealer infection, directing it in certain avenues that would be advantageous to the Slaaneshi Chaos cult. And then at 100 years down the line, which is literally right now, this very day, when it calls in a Tyranid invasion, they will be able to take advantage of the chaos caused by the cult, wait for the local Imperial forces to get in the battle, and then backstab all of them. Take everybody out very quickly. So their grand plan this whole time was Tyranid invasion, get local forces off planet to go face it, overthrow the local government in the process. So that must be happening right now.
I immediately send this information to Aldous Cinevis.
Cinevis.
Yeah.
Cinnabon.
It is not his name.
It
Send
is
that
now.
information to go. Did it have any mention of where the possible main base of operations of the Gene Stealer cult was?
No.
Okay. They just had them watching.
You have the outline of their plan. You do not have any specifics from this.
Nothing of any locations of any of the cults of
Not in this document. You can make an individual search.
I think we should probably go try and see if there's a basement or adjoining large empty space.
Preferably one
Indeed.
not destroyed by missile.
Well, I'd be underground.
Yeah.
It's a hive. There's lots of underground.
I know, but I'm attached to this building specifically.
It's a long way down, several kilometers. You're like, everybody hug your local Grey Knight. Let him teleport you.
Yeah,
Use him as a
Aspects only
taxi.
really had the top couple of floors, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have to assume there that his
But
cult
does his
still
apartment
acting out
not have
there.
a storage room slot assigned to it at the basement?
Great question. Wow. It does. It's not assigned to the basement, it's several floors down, but yes.
I guess we go to that then. And
So you're not going to investigate the penthouse.
Oh.
You're going to head down to the
Let's
storage
split the
room.
party.
Please do. Oh,
Yep.
I've been waiting to hear that several
Let's
times
split up.
today. We can cover more ground, right?
it sounds like a terrible idea.
We'll have Team Batman and Team Not Batman.
Right. So Kalrak and Lycus stay here for Team Batman.
It's your
The
call.
Grey
though.
Knights are
Are we
still
splitting up or
searching-
stay together?
This building,
I
right?
think we should stay together.
What was the question?
The Grey Knights are still searching this building?
Yes, the apartment. It's actually, they're so large, they do not fit inside this penthouse very well.
Yeah.
They're doing their
Stars.
best. You know, they're like, they're like picking up an MRE and it looks so tiny in their massive gloved hands.
Uh,
An MRE to us, it's a chicklet to them.
I mean, they're probably a good 8.5, 9 feet tall.
yeah. Well, they're not. Oh, well, only one of them's in Terminator armor. The others
I
are
mean,
just
still, they're still.
They are in
pretty
power
big.
armor.
massive,
I
yeah.
think I'll let them search the building more. We'll go investigate the storage area.
Yeah, I
Because,
think that's the best. That's the best bet.
Okay. You are all heading down to the storage area, just to be clear?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't like the way he said that. Yes.
Listen, you just sometimes it's hard to keep up what party plans are. You hear a lot of different things, like let's split up. You all head several floors down. As you go about 2 floors down, someone stops you in the hallway. It is a mildly obese woman with some very nice makeup on, wearing robes. It's got, what was that creature from Jurassic Park that had the enormous frill around it?
Oh, I can't think of the
But
name.
you know what I'm
Saurus.
talking about. She's got
Yeah.
that.
Something Saurus.
Yeah. And she's just like, my word. Can someone explain to me what the disturbance is? I haven't heard this much thumping around of boots since I spent some time in an Imperial Guard camp.
I love that a missile hitting the building is a disturbance.
I shoot her.
Do you?
Classified information.
Classified? What is your... There's no classifying from me. I'm a very high tier, important nobility.
State your name and rank.
State your
immediately.
name and rank. I'm going to get the governor on the
I
phone
point
right
my
now.
gun. I point,
got him,
point my gun at her. State your name and rank.
My goodness, this violence! Help me! Anyone, please! There's ruffians here! Help! Ah!
I put her on the ground.
I was about to, it's a good thing you do it because I was about to just deck this woman.
Okay, all right. Make an athletics check to, throw her to the ground. 23. Complication, it fails.
Yeah, watch it happen.
He still fails. He actually does fail. That's the best
She,
part.
is, she must be rather portly.
No, screw it. I'm burning my wrath on that.
Okay.
Screw it. I'm doing it. I can't.
Oh, can we make
4 1s?
You
Can I
want
play
to
my
make her
card
the
for Sid?
adversary?
Did you
Yeah,
reroll?
if you want to spend it, do you want to?
No, that's right.
Okay.
Did you reroll?
He hasn't
Yeah, you
rolled
did.
yet.
Going to. I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. I was
Working
saying.
his way
I was
there.
saying, did
4
you,
1s on that.
that sounds like a Sid roll.
There we go.
Alright, you got
There
at
we
least
go.
3.
There we go. All right. All
She
right.
hits the ground and you hear something break and she's just like, oh my, is that pain? Oh no! Isn't there anyone that can help an old noble lady?
I look up at them. Any chance she's a gene stealer and I could just shoot her right now?
I just had the thought. I was like to myself, like out of character. Nah, even gene stealers have standards.
You're ruining my dress.
Who's got the best Medicaid? Lycus, do you want to give her a quick examination.
I'll give her
Sure.
examination. Why not?
I mean, are you just like cutting her dress open and checking her arms and back?
No,
and-
I truss her
Just
up and I gag her so she'll stop
I
talking.
assume just a visual inspection, but yeah.
Wow. Okay.
She wearing a robe, you said?
It's like a roby dress. Go ahead, make your Medicaid.
Yeah, he'll do a semi-thorough search, not really visual.
I
As to
search
not
for
trust.
identification.
Rich people don't carry identification on them. What are you?
They just say their name. They hope that you know.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I mean, if she's trussed up and gagged, just throw her back in her hab, shut the door, and let's go.
Yeah.
We got bigger
works.
problems.
I have no idea what this one is.
We're dealing
like-
with a high
it
society
says
type.
it's
We
a-
got gene
okay.
stealer problems.
Just roll that
1, 2,
cocked ass
3.
die again.
Huh?
Look at that one. It's literally halfway. Just roll this one
It-
again right here.
Okay. Well,
Roll it
it
again.
identifies as a 3, but
Yeah, just roll it again.
I'll take it. Okay.
That's a 2.
How? What? But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I got
Look,
a-
there's
I
warp
got a 4.
fuckery about. I mean, what do you expect?
She's not a gene stealer.
I got a 5. Okay.
Not a gene stealer.
Any markings?
Not a chaos cultist either.
Gang tattoos?
The only markings you see are
Club
from
memberships.
you see markings that would indicate rejuvenate treatments, perhaps quite recent.
Okay.
That's to be expected.
Did she come out of like a hub?
She was standing in the hallway when you came down the stairs.
Okay.
Is there a open
Uh,
door nearby?
There is a door nearby. It's not open. I mean, you're all huge guys in power armor. You can open it if you
Well,
want to.
I'm the only one.
I'm
with
not.
power armor.
I mean,
okay. Well, you're an elf, so
I mean, I could try and
you roll 15 dice when you fire a gun. So I don't know what your deal is. But,
I would like to attempt to open the door normally
yes.
with my giant hand.
You rip the door open and
Two
throw
finger
her
it.
trussed inside with a gag on.
And then I try and
That's
I just close the door gently. I'm like,
As you're
All right,
trying to
let's
close
go.
the door, a servitor comes forward and slides it shut for you after giving you a bow. Like,
I just turn around and leave. It's like, we don't have time for this.
We do not.
You make your way down to the storehouse. Inside, it is full of weapons. We're talking, you walked into
Ooh.
some guy's private gun shack. Pistols, rifles, las guns, plenty of ammunition, some MREs. All of them are Imperial Guard issue Hammond Bean.
I feel like the door slides open and then there's just a light that shines in Antipho's face and you
Here's
hear,
the thing, Antipho, none of these are
here
very
you go."
good guns. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Doesn't matter.
I mean,
they're
as soon as we open this door and I see ammunition, I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to start handing out ammunition. Like,
Mhm.
Eshairr's got human weapons that, I was just like, I'm not even saying, it's just like, it's like looting ammo from the dead guy. It's like, yeah, okay, we're going to need this.
Arthur says plenty of ammunition, and Sid hears almost enough ammunition.
Well,
Almost
some of us have fire discipline.
So there is a very obvious pegboard on the wall where one would
Mhm.
hang a power sword, but the power sword is not present.
All right.
Lovely.
I'd say this room
point
is
to that
about
and it's like, did he have a power sword on him?
I don't know. He didn't have a chance to bring it out.
You didn't search the body.
And search the body.
I
set
sort
the
of
body
turned it
on
on
fire.
I did set the body on fire.
So this room is
Right.
about 20 by 10 foot. 3 walls are covered in gun racks. One is the wall you came in on. It has maps of the surrounding area, which appear to be this particular building is marked on it. The governor's palace, dozens of other locations also have marks on them. There are also very obvious marks that indicate Dark Mechanicus. So it's like he's hand stenciled in a Dark Mechanicus symbol in several locations.
I'm visualizing this room as like the that guy who had the armory room in the first Boondock Saints movie,
Yes.
like in his apartment.
Yep.
That's what I'm imagining.
It's clear from the way that the MREs have, like, there are several boxes of MREs that have been removed that he is pulling his personal supply out of this room.
Let's see, Lycus, do you have a way to, record this map maybe, or do we just take it with us? I mean, we need to pass this information on, right?
Yeah, I'm going to report it and then
Probably destroy
Uh,
these weapons if they're marked with
I mean,
chaos.
setting off an ammo cache in the bottom of a building might not be the best idea.
Well, we at least need to mark it and maybe have.
Well, yeah,
grenades
no,
up
for
there,
sure.
Collect them for destruction.
Or, I mean, just leave it to the Mechanicus. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to leave this here. So pass on the information from the maps, and then obviously make a note and pass out the location on, and then, I mean.
Okay, so you're looking at all of the maps, Kalrak. What are you doing, Antipho?
Checking to see if there are any good guns.
Okay. Lycus?
Looking for any sort of computer or something that would keep record.
Eshairr?
I'm not comfortable in this environment, so I'm actually not going in the room. I'm sort of more keeping an overwatch just in case this cult turns up while we're investigating, basically.
I will, well, because Antipho's looking through, I will tell him, see if you can find any high explosives. If there's anything missing, they might be trying to,
Yeah.
I mean, essentially do some terrorist style acts. Like if you find a bunch of C4 and there's a bunch of C4 missing, you know, okay, obviously they're doing something with that. So
Yeah, if there's a crate that's like one third empty and
Kalrak's thinking like, his training, right? Especially as a scout, scouts fight asymmetrically. What do? You blow up, essentially, train rails, airports. You take out infrastructure to cripple your enemy before you do other military acts. Because I mean, these guys, especially cultists, stuff like that, they have to fight asymmetrically. So Kalrak can kind of put himself in that mindset. So he would kind of, that's where he's coming from.
So Antipho, are you doing that instead of checking the guns?
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's-
can I get
that's more
Eshairr and Antipho to make awareness difficulty 5?
Awareness. Well, I have 6 dice, so this is going to be hard. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey.
Oh boy.
Not me.
You got a 1 on the rat die.
Oh. Wop, wop.
Wah, wah,
Eshairr, do you still have a wrath to throw behind this? Or are you just
I
gonna...
do.
Okay.
Wait, do you want me? I mean, like, if he's passed though, like, I mean,
I will listen. You make your choice before I tell you, because that difficulty is gonna.
all right. Well, I'll give it a go then.
I
I'll
accidentally
throw the wrath
touch
in.
off the C4.
Oh God. I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be impressed if you managed to set off C4 just by fucking around with it.
Right?
Eshairr,
I'll-
You can set
I'll
this shit on
glory-
fire.
you're
Still,
glorying
I'll
up to
have to-
5.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll just roll one of the failed dice.
You're using your prey sense occasionally, taking a look
Yep.
around, checking the
that's
hallway, checking the stairwell, checking this room. Right as Antipho's reaching for the box, you're like, no, wait! As you catch something, Antipho, you open the box. You do find an explosive, and it's currently armed. And it looks like it's several seconds away. It's a crack grenade in a box of crack grenades.
Oof. Well, that's a you problem.
Well,
So I'm gonna
immediately
describe it.
yell run
There's a-
as I'm
there's a-
turning to run.
There is a really obvious keypad device attached to the crack grenade that clearly one would put in a pin to disarm it when you walk in the room. This has not been disarmed, and it is currently like seconds away from exploding.
As I'm turning to run away, do I make a mental note of how full this crate is?
I mean, it's got like 20 crack grenades in it.
But is that full or
Yes.
okay? Well, I'm booking ass out while yelling run.
So your plan is to attempt to outrun this explosion, correct?
Well, if there's
Well,
only a
it's a
couple
crack
of
grenade.
seconds
It's very
left,
small.
It's an anti-tank grenade.
if there's only a couple of seconds left, I'm sure as fuck not going to be able to disarm it in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So run out of the room, slam the door closed behind me as I'm still running, yelling run and cover.
So you're gonna trap everyone else in the room then?
Well, this is
One
a
big
tiny
room.
little.
Here.
Right. It's. Are you waiting for everyone else to leave, or what's going on here?
I'm assuming the room has no windows, by the way.
It's an
Yeah,
interior
we're in
interior room, and you're all except for Eshairr inside that room.
Okay, are there any windows or anything?
No.
Yeah.
How many?
Okay, I'm guessing we're in pause time right now. How many
Yes.
seconds are on the clock?
You have no idea. All you know is that there's a red beeping dot on the pin pad, and it's beeping very quickly now.
Okay.
I mean, as a guardsman or whatever, I mean, a standard grenade is 4 seconds. I don't know whether that's standard in 40K as well.
You've been
but,
in this room for longer than 4 seconds. So,
but
clearly
4 seconds
there's
from
enough
opening the
time
box.
to walk in, disarm it without blowing yourself up.
Yeah.
Shit, all the windows outside are covered, aren't they?
That's the several floors up.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in
like a
You're
basement.
several floors down on an interior room that's a storeroom for
Or,
the penthouse.
Can I grab it, throw it out of the room, and then close the door?
Yes, doing so will trap Eshairr in the hallway with it. But yes. So it's just like, happy birthday!
I mean, I made the perception test then, so would I
Yes,
be able to
you're
react
aware
as well?
that this is happening. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys
So
want
I
to do a
gotta-
coordinated waltz where you rush in?
So as I
he throws it
turn
out?
around, I grab the grenade, I turn, see Eshairr's in the hall, and I just yell, Eshairr in! And as I'm throwing.
Okay. Eshairr, make a athletics.
Yeah, I don't know where Lycus and I are in this room in relation to this.
You have not enough capability to act on this situation.
I mean, if I hear
horrible.
him saying something, I'm definitely going to duck as best as I can.
You needed a 3.
I got 1.
You can get in the room, but you can't close the door in time. Antipho, I'm going to
Get
need an
away-
athletics from you to get that grenade pineapple perfectly through the doorway without slamming it into anything.
How close am I to the door?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so here's what happens. We're talking CS:GO. The grenade hits the door at the angle, and it bounces out into the hallway. Slow motion, everything. Kalrak and Lycus are just starting to react to all of this stuff, and the grenade explodes near, but not on Eshairr. Let's see how this is going to go down. So it's 14 plus 2 ED. There.
Goes on.
I'm trying to save us all, and Eshairr's catching the edge of the blast.
Eshairr, you take 13.
Yeah.
All right, you take 15 minus 2 AP.
Someone had a card where they could soak up all the damage. I think
That was
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I had that on the other map. I didn't have it there, and it was
Sure.
just for me.
So my field, because I've got a force field,
Yep.
it ignores armor penetration,
Sure, sure.
so that takes it down to 8.
Yeah.
So which takes me to -3.
You want to soak?
I can soak. Sorry, yes, that's a good point. So which got to soak 3. So that takes me right on 0. So I'm not dying. I'm just unconscious.
Antipho, the waltz that you put into play didn't work out perfectly, but Eshairr is not dead. The hallway is there's like a perfect teardrop blast shape in the middle of it. Smoke is filling the room, but nothing's on fire yet.
Don't you have like tense shock?
Yeah, but I was on 0 wounds though. That takes me to 0 wounds.
Oh, I got
So
you.
Eshairr collapses on the floor after trying to shut the door. There was too much door shutting, grenade going, gun in the way, swinging into the room. The gun catches on the end of the doorway. Wasn't great. Wasn't a great display, but everyone is alive.
Can I medicate Eshairr?
Yeah, I'll go immediately to try to make a share.
Well,
Okay,
while you're
I'll-
trying to
I'll
do
try
that,
to assist.
well, what I want to do is somebody just needs to pick Eshairr up and say, like, everyone out now, because we don't know what else is in this room.
That is true.
So I think de-assing the area should be our first
Yeah.
priority.
We need a disposal
Yeah, I'll pick
squad.
up a share, then book it out.
Okay.
Leave this to EOD and then just get the hell out of here.
You're calling Imperial Guard Munitorian
Either
team?
that, or if there's, I don't know, I guess all the admech evacuated. So yeah, we'll tell the guard, like,
If
get an
there's
EOD.
already that, there's God knows what other booby traps in there.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, we'll let the EOD team know it's there. Know that at least we had one active device that went off, but we don't know what else is in there. I mean, we know there's at least another, one crate of grenades, but
Okay.
I
You
don't think
get
you got to search the
word
room. So,
a disarm team will be here in 8 hours.
well,
That's the earliest possible convenience.
yeah.
Lycus?
Yes.
That is with Lycus's authority.
Oh, shit.
I
I
mean,
want to remind you, there was a
yeah.
Gene Stealer cult fight
Yeah,
going
there's a
on
big problem.
across the city.
I think
It's-
we should just leave. I mean, mark it. They know where it is. It's on their schedule, and just leave. I mean, I don't think babysitting a room for 8 hours is
Yeah,
gonna
that
be
won't benefit us at all.
exact my point. So we should just cut our loss and get it. I mean, I got a decent look at the map. So did Lycus. I mean, we know obviously they have some pretty heavy weaponry if they're just have crates of anti-armor grenades sitting around.
Can we just take the map with us?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, we'll just take a map. Let's take it with us.
You're reopening the
Means-
door and going back in the room.
I will do it.
Okay. You
The rest
do
of
so.
us will go in the same room as the old lady.
You. she's a couple floors up, but yeah, you can go back up there.
Oh, I thought it was the same
She's
floor.
flopping on the floor when you open the door.
I thought it was the same floor. We'll just go like 2 or 3 doors down.
Okay.
and-
You pull a map off the wall. It's like 10 feet long, 8 feet wide, 8 feet
Yeah.
tall, I should say. Lots of markings on it, and you fold it up and bring it with you.
Yeah.
Now, how long does it take Eshairr to recover if you give a successful Medicaid test, which you haven't yet?
So normally you're supposed to take what's called a respite, which is a 1 hour break, and then
Sure.
you can do a Medicaid test difficulty 3 to heal 1 wound.
Let's do that as you
Can I
haul
aid?
everybody upstairs back into your waiting Valkyrie, landing on
Yeah.
the roof.
to make the Medicaid test?
Yes.
Who's got the better? Probably.
I mean,
you.
Lycus jumped in
Lycus
there
has
and
the
said-
yeah.
Lycus has, I believe
forget.
has the higher Medicaid, but I'd still like to try and aid.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Lycus kind of has this like jack of all trades thing going on here.
Yeah.
3.
5, 6, 7. All right.
I don't know if that's even enough for a success for the aid.
Not a failure. That's for sure. You good?
1, 2.
Wow.
So during a respite, additional 6s can be shifted for additional wounds. So it looks like you've got enough to shift 2. So I'll get back 3 wounds then.
Yep. I'll shift 2 to give you 3 wounds.
You shoulder Eshairr back into the Valkyrie and spend an hour in flight. We see the Hellstrike missiles, or whatever they're called, haven't been reloaded yet, but you do do some diving swoops on locations with the multi-laser Melta. Overall, though, it's mostly just buying time until Eshairr's better and someone reviews the map. So who is crunching the numbers on this map, trying to figure out what it does?
Probably
I-
probably Lycus. I'm probably
I
flying.
will.
Can you make an investigation check?
I can give you an investigation check. I got no. So
Let me tell you, I'm only setting the difficulty at 5 for now, but every upshift will reveal more information.
well, I don't have any ruin to or wrath to fix that. So 6, 7,
I mean,
7, 9. Okay. It's difficulty 5. 9 dice. That is
not great. Yeah.
not enough,
4.
and I don't have a wrath. Do we have a glory left?
You should have had 2 glory left over.
I
do.
will spin one of those glory to roll an extra die.
Yes.
Okay,
We only
that'd
have
be
1
5
left over, 'cause I
successes.
spent 1 on the awareness check, by the way. So we
well,
have
then
1
that's all. Yeah. That's all.
Okay. So for no glory, but I got a 5 with a 1 on the wrath.
So it looks as if, based on the markings on this location, that the cultists have kind of literally encircled the Gene Stealers into a specific area directly beneath this tower and levels below it. Coincidentally, it's also quite near that factory that we started the game with the mutants and all that stuff. They have limited them to this level. It appears, based on some markings on the map, you get calendar years of when Gene Stealers have tried to exit this area and were slaughtered by chaos cultists. So they are specifically breeding a column of cultists in this exact location directly
It's
beneath
like a
you.
corral.
Yes.
I bet
However,
that
as you're-
Arbites we killed all the way back in episode 1 was either a gene stealer or working with them.
There are additional markings here that indicate that there are mutants involved with this cult as well. The gene stealer cult, not the...
Of course they are. Disgusting.
Okay.
Let's just get a lance strike. Just obliterate this entire block.
But as you're Valkyrieing around, at some point, one of the doors is opened and the map flutters out of it.
Was that the complication?
That is the complication. You're not gonna
Was
be able
that
to
the
look
map that just flew out the door?
Who didn't
Yes.
shut the door? Did you not lock the door?
at it.
Lycus.
You try healing someone and looking at a map at the same time. Only have two hands.
Ah. Well, shit.
This is why we can't have nice things.
So you have an area that's roughly 5 miles in radius and 3 miles in depth, where Chaos have allowed a kind of predation by gene stealers.
Just
And
call
that
on the
group will start
Navy
to
and let them
spread.
handle it.
Soon.
Is that your plan? Is to just have the Navy destroy this crust?
Obliterate that entire sector.
Something you can do. It's available.
It's probably standard operating procedure.
But if we don't wipe out the Patriarch, the whole thing
Yeah.
starts again.
Yeah. I think wipe out the Patriarch and then have the Navy mop up the remainder is going to be the best bet. What would Caiaphas Cain do? This.
I'll ask you two because you two might have more information on this than I do. How likely is it that the Patriarch might be in this corral they've developed?
Patriarch could be in the most protective place possible. I mean, he is the one behind it all. He's going to be very hard to get to.
Besides, it'd be a little bit too convenient for any sort of plot, wouldn't it?
It's not going to be
Patriarchs
easy.
Are usually very powerful psychers. I mean, even with this shadow, it may be possible if we get close enough to track them psychically. Or track it psychically.
Yeah. We'd need, well, I guess you have some psychic power, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
constantly directing, it's constantly transmitting its orders
Yeah.
to the cult, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think then that we might need to attempt to go there and see if we can catch a scent, or at least Eshairr can catch a scent.
As good as a plan as any.
Though we could try to blow the whole place up, but we have no idea if that would actually be.
Well, we have to confirm that the Patriarch's going to die. That's what it comes down to. After the Patriarch is confirmed, KIA, have the Navy mop up.
I will notify the Inquisitor again, tell him that we have a rough area where the Patriarch may be. And that we are considering going in to try to find him.
Yeah, I think that's our best bet.
Let me just tell you guys. Hondo's natural 1 combat complication has paid out so much better than I would have ever imagined.
Has Cotton heard it yet?
I
What is
don't
it?
see how he asked if Cotton has heard this yet.
Your Batman
maybe.
voice.
Batman voice.
Possibly. I mean, I have many voices.
Many voices. Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Lycus.
Is this stereotypical
Like a
nerd voice?
centaur.
You're very. I can't do the Lispy one right now, actually. And there's like this, where I talk like a
Oh,
goblin
God.
or a crazy wizard.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, he does do an arrangement of voices on his show, to be fair.
And then there's the Then there's a sassy woman like this. Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
God.
I actually did the Z snap there.
Having lived in Alabama, I know that voice all too well.
If you have a Patreon, I would donate to make sure that you never did that voice again.
Oh shit! Wow, he really just dropped it on you.
Make a specific one just for Sid.
For the low price of $4.99 a month, I will shut the fuck up.
And there are some people I would pay that much to have them shut the fuck up.
Have me shut the fuck up. Yeah, yeah.
Cotton's the first donator. It's like, what?
If you're Sid, if you're starting at $4.99, I'm never gonna talk again, man.
Wow.
Demand product, charge more.
I've seen your detractors.
Yeah, I should raise that.
Yeah, $4.99 seems real low.
All right, so we're gonna call
All right,
this
so
in.
this cult has seen us before, so we're going to need to try and take a stealthy approach to investigating them if we're going to go into their corral.
Yeah. Or, if there's any nearby operations going on, I mean, try and use that to our advantage. Like use the chaos of that to,
Whole city's
Really
filled with
covered.
chaos.
Well, okay, so
Of two types.
it should be a little easier than normal, maybe, with all the
Is
the
there
shitstorm going on.
a way to get a cloak that is big enough to
Hide your power
hide the armor?
An apocalypse cloak?
Like,
I mean,
a
you can get
Holocaust cloak, I think is what they were
A
called.
Holocaust cloak, yeah.
a camellia line cloak you can get.
Yeah.
That's not gonna hide him. It's just gonna make him invisible.
Well, it gives you dice towards stealth.
Sure. I
Situation
mean,
dice.
it's still gonna be super obvious that you're much taller and broader and thicker than a normal human being. But
Well, I was going to use it as a way to act as if I was deformed in some way,
Oh,
Sure.
like a mutant? I mean,
especially if this is an area where mutants are known to be at.
that's worked before.
Like
It's just-
jam some sticks into your power armor and then drape the cloak over it so it looks all.
Maybe.
oh, you could look like the Lost in Space movie with the guy from Friends.
This will be a callback, but essentially do what I did as Professor Mahogany.
Joey?
Yeah, Joey. Remember the evil doctor in that was like
Yeah.
super Mechanicus, and his cloak was all weird and shit.
He wasn't Mechanicus. He was a giant spider.
Yeah, Magus Biologus. He looked exactly like it. That's what I think that your good friend, the Magus, looks like. Just with fleshy tendrils instead of the weird spider stuff. Alright, you gonna make a roll to acquire some Camellia Line cloaks?
I guess, sure.
Is that even an Imperium thing? Isn't that Eldari?
Yeah. No, it's
You
Imperial.
know, it's Imperial as well. Just
I
different technology, but same item basically. Same.
I
rules.
don't have a cloak yet. I could go for a cloak.
There are 5
Cloaks
rare,
all
which
around?
means that I've already got one, obviously.
I believe Kalrak and Eshairr already have one.
I don't have one.
He's got a camo cloak. It's different.
yeah.
So it would be 8 successes required to get one.
What's a camel cloak do?
Let's just get +1 stealth and cover. Well, actually, that's my archetype ability.
some rolls,
Chameleon
friends.
cloak, woven with photoreactive mimic fibers. The shifting colors of the chameleon cloak blur the outline, the wearer, yada yada yada.
The chameleon cloak is very much like the, in Crisis when we do like the invisible kind of stuff. It's kind of like Predator stuff almost.
Yeah, do we really even need that?
I mean,
I was just thinking of a cloak.
never
that-
hurts, but
If you
Work
just want to
towards
get a
it.
random cloak, you can go into the noble woman's stuff and just get one of her like shawls or something like that.
Tear up one of her expensive dresses.
Yeah, exactly.
you say you take a knife and you got to make it look irregular, so it's not one consistent shape. It has to break it up.
Yeah.
You're just looking for clothing. You can acquire that on your way to the Valkyrie. Although I guess you're already in it. But yeah, there's probably like drop patches and parachutes and stuff in the back that you can turn into cloaks.
Yeah, I'd rather do that
Sure.
instead of trying to acquire a very expensive item.
Antipho, you also
What is it? Is it a
molding.
rare 5?
Yes.
Yeah, I won't even try because I have a wealth of 2. So
Are you molding like stuff that you find in the back of the Valkyrie into some sort of covering so that your very obvious Tempestus uniform and 3 large weapons are not
I suppose I could do that.
Okay.
Just put camo paint on your nose.
Oh
Yeah,
that
Just
totally
go
works.
full
Just
Catachan.
right here.
let me
and
be
then-
super clear. You guys will have to make a deception roll and stealth rolls to move among the populace. There's no way you look like normies, but you can
like,
attempt to
deception
seem
isn't
like
bad.
a weird group of, mutants.
I don't think we need to stay exactly together. We need to break up a little bit.
You-
Not like
I'm
split the
sorry,
party,
you need
but
to
not
cover
be.
more ground.
I mean, just not be, not travel in a clump. I mean, spread out a little bit. You have 4 people trying to, act like they're sneaky. It's a bit different than
We got
Spreading
enough.
out.
If we got a big enough cloak, we can all claim to be one big mutant.
3 kobolds in a cloak.
we are not the oh god, what is it? The Lord of the Adeptus Mechanicus, who's like the size of a house.
Essentially, the way I want to do is make myself look like I got a hunchback.
Yeah, got it.
Do we go
We're
ahead and
gonna take our break here tonight then, so that
Okay.
I can have some time to set up some gene stealer tunnels full of ambushes and murder and betrayals. And I didn't realize that
party
the combat
splits.
was going to go so fast.
Neither did I. Didn't expect what's his face to go down in one hit.
It was more 2 hits, but
Allegedly.
It was one hit. You hit
Allegedly.
him with a chain axe and he died.
oh, the one guy, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either.
He
What
is
did you
just
think
a
was going to
dude.
happen? That he transformed into a demon prince? Was just like, that's right, it's me.
Or
I'm a
became a
demon
I don't know.
possessed or something.
It just seemed a little odd that the guy was a paper tiger.
Paper Tiger. Jeez. He's evaded you for 18 episodes, and now he's a paper tiger.
Well, I mean, he went down to Lycus in one hit.
Wow.
He died to Lycus. What a bitch.
Well,
He nearly died in the second battle.
Yep.
He is just a dude.
I suppose at the end of the day, the flesh is weak.
Indeed, but the machine is strong.
Okay, that's painful to me.
I don't find it that odd that because again he did get almost stabbed to death. in
He
the one
also
thing.
could have been forsaken by his chosen deity, and whatever. There's no telling.
True, he did allow himself to at least get partially duped by Lycus.
I mean,
imagine that that would probably
chaos
piss
is
them off a little bit.
fickle like that. So
He got his hopes up. He really
it's
thought he'd be
lucky.
able
I
to-
mean, if you disappoint the chaos gods, you're lucky you don't get turned into a warp spawn. So, but who knows?
Okay. Everyone can take 10 experience points.
Puts us at
91.
90. Okay, that's what I thought.
I think Lycus should get a special skill, base jumper.
I'm gonna tell you that one way or another, if you're still alive at the end of the next episode, I'm going to give everyone the ability to up tier your archetypes. So you might want to think about that.
I will have to read up on that then.
And I think maybe in the next 1 or 2 episodes, we could be looking at a season finale for this season. You guys are covering ground faster than I anticipated.
All the pieces are falling together.
Mostly they're just exploding out the side of buildings.
Falling in some way at least.
Or getting sucked out of open hatches.
Like the map. How was this combat for you guys? I felt like it was not balanced at all. It was very weird, grab assy.
I mean,
it was crazy to run. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen next. They're just going to do something.
I don't think it wasn't that it was unbalanced. It's just that a lot of different things fell into place kind of right in our way. Like, being able to jump kick that guy back into his buddies and blow them up. And
Well, I'm not saying unbalanced in a bad way. It's just whenever you include a large combat vehicle on the battle map, there's never going to be.
Yeah, there's never going to be a good
Well,
balance.
plus, it was. I mean, a lot of the guys on the map were like hordes, which only have a horde dude has like 1 HP.
I think if you hadn't just picked me up and just went in and swung at me, it probably would have been much different.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it would have. Yeah.
It was a sort of battle where the environment is the adversary.
Yep.
You know, like we're more concerned with placement and how do we get people who are not in the ship back in the ship. It was more of almost like more of a skill challenge than just a stand-up fight, which is interesting in its
Yeah.
own way. That's
Yeah. Well, like I didn't fail any piloting checks. So like that's one thing. You know, we had very few. We had only one or two rerolls as far as the Valkyrie crew went. So we just passed all of our skill checks.
Yes.
So
But what I want to know is if you guys actually enjoyed something like that, or whether it was just like.
No, I did.
it's definitely different. Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, it's the first time we've done something like that so far.
It was very different. We got lucky on a lot of rolls, and we still got to pull off some cool stuff. I mean, I was happy. I get to basically rabbit kick a dude back into another team and blow them all up.
And fire missiles.
And fire missiles. That's a good day right there.
I didn't crash them. I didn't crash
fun for the whole family.
I didn't crash us into a building. So,
certainly, I mean, having the vehicle there certainly increased the ease of the battle. But I mean, you could easily in the future you could do a vehicle on vehicle stuff. There are rules for vehicle battles as well.
Yeah,
I mean, there was going to be a vehicle on vehicle battle. It just was too busy trying to throw Lycus off a building.
Yeah, well, I was going after Lycus and we were going after it. So
I think the key thing is that you didn't decide to interrupt with power on aspects just to try to get me first.
That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
You guys are like, tower on aspects, what an incredible threat. He's going to destroy us all. And I was just like, and this guy's a cult leader. He's like, when we started this game, he was strong enough to be a threat. And now he's just not. You've come a long distance.
I mean, at this point, we are practically tier 3 characters now. So
that's
when
good,
you're picking,
because next week you're gonna be tier 3 characters.
Yeah, when you pick enemies, you can basically treat us as tier 3. So
well, once you find and defeat this cult or retreat, you'll be tier 3 before I go too far. But you should definitely be thinking about what you want to upgrade to.
There's not really much I can upgrade to at the moment.
You can just decide to become a psyker.
I'm not sure.
Or you can just choose the upgrade that's like, no, okay, I just upgrade. I get new items and shit, and that's it.
I think the issue with being the psyker is that I can't. It's a background sort of thing, rather.
Everyone knows that non-psyker inquisitors are straight up bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been quite
this
a
is
few.
a common. Go ahead, sorry.
There have been quite a few people that have been, or inquisitors especially, that have been latent psychers, and then something happens which kind of brings that to the fore.
Say an encounter with a gene stealer,
or something, or like that you encounter with another very powerful psychic entity, like kind of essentially the spark to the fire.
I have been messing with ritual circles.
Yeah, I mean,
ritual circles a lot. That's the best part.
I passed one. One I passed and was able to clear it fine. The other one I just did it just to get it out of there. And the other one I just failed. I was like, I'm just going to burn it.
It's a common question what to do in these RPGs when someone becomes psychic, because within the fluff, normally, they get put on the next black ship. They do a 15-year flight back to Terra, get tried out, to see if they can be fed to the Emperor or actually be sustainable, and then sent back, But at the end of the day, it is established within the fluff that an Inquisitor can field sanction a psyker. So effectively, plenty of times in my games in the past, I've had it where an Acolyte or something similar has gained psychic powers through some form or other, and then we've sort of said, okay, well, provided this person is in good standing with their Inquisitor has, field sanctioned them or said that, I will give you a temporary sanction, and when the next opportunity comes, i.e. outside the scope of this campaign, your character's going back on the next ship to Terra to be assessed. So I wouldn't worry too much about the whole having to write your character up for a long period of time, provided Arthur's okay with that sort of thing.
I'd point out that there are black ships in orbit, but they aren't going anywhere anytime soon. It's not like you can warp out if you're inside the shadow of the warp.
They'll probably just give us like kind of mercy blade to sit and tell me to stab you if you get too uppity.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
would
have
give it to
no
Kalrak, but
I have no problem killing any one of you. So
We just have an exorcist battle brother assigned to the squad.
I mean, if the Inquisitor asked if there was any sign of corruption, I would have definitely said, yeah, he was uttering the name of a chaos lord, a chaos god.
we'll see.
Which is fair.
You can always bring it up yourself. You know, you can always self-report. You don't have to be asked.
There was reasoning behind that, so I'll only bring it up if asked.
Yeah, it was more of a tactical necessity.
It was absolutely a tactical necessity, but it's still corruption. Still a visible sign of corruption.
I am trying to determine how corrupt it is to withhold signs of corruption from an Inquisitor.
Not withholding. I'm just waiting until last.
Oh my god! So it's like, it's not a lie, it's a white lie, and that's different. It's very different, okay?
No, it's not a lie.
It's an intentional withholding of information.
Yeah, there is no lie there because you're not making any form of utterance of untruth.
All right. You know, speaking of utterances of untruth, something. James, happy birthday. Let's do your outro.
Thank you. Yes, I'm James with the Grimdark Podcast, currently on temporary hiatus, but it looks like they've got some more stuff happening with Wrath and Glory now this year. They put up a picture of the producer, Zach, on Twitter the other day saying how hard he's working, and they've been putting out a call for GMs to run at Gen Con. So I'm going to Gen Con this year. I got my ticket sorted out the other day. I'd say probably the news will be relatively quiet till then, but I could see them re-releasing the core book probably between now and then have some announcements about what's going to be next at Gen Con. If I was a betting man, that's what I'd be suggesting. So yeah, I did look at other conventions to go to in the US this year, but probably Gen Con will be it for me. I'm not going to do Origins this year. And yeah, then the question becomes whether I want to try and run some more BattleTech for Catalyst, or run some Wrath and Glory for Cubicle 7, or even I want to check out the new Age of Sigmar game, RPG, see what that's like. But that's it for me. Just yeah, after this, I'm going to go get on a ladder and try and clear up my drains so my roof stops leaking.
Okay.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Premium top tier content, as you would say.
No, that does sound like something I would say. You know, speaking of premium top tier content, let's talk to Sid Alpha.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha. Thank you all for putting up with. Last time I checked, I think I was. Let me. Oh, the plaque is in the other room, so I can't verify with that.
Can't verify. I don't know, the way he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sid Alpha." It's very, very convincing. Sounds just like the real one.
Almost. I could be an imposter. I don't know. Yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you, everyone. I was hamming it up a little bit tonight, so I appreciate everyone's forbearance with that. But yeah, check me out on my YouTube. I've got the second Day of the part 2 of 3 of the Day of Dragons update series that should be coming out tomorrow, and I should be back this week for more BattleTech on Thursday, where we get to do more stompies. That's it. That's all I got. I'm good.
Speaking of people who stomp, Atomic.
I do indeed wear boots, so I do the stomp. Well, Atomic. You can find me at twitch.tv/Atomic Warsmith these days. Started streaming a bit again when my health allows. Been playing through Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts. It's pretty good. Pretty, I give it about a 7 out of 10 for the snipering. Don't know what I'm going to play next, but I'm here Wednesdays for New Game Plus 5e, and then I'm also here obviously Saturdays, and then Sundays over on Pondo's channel for our Gestalt 5e game. And James, I got people that are trying to make me go to Gen Con this year, so I'll have to let you know if that ends up happening, and then I can hang out with James and for a day, and then he'll get tired of me in about 5 minutes, and then I'll go about my merry way. So yeah, but it's pretty much me.
Pondo, I'm going to go to you, and I would like you to still do your outro in the Lycus sort of voice.
The voice with the grainy voice or
The Batman
the
voice.
typical.
Well, listen, I just would like you to do it. I'm not making you do it. I'm just.
Is that carrying over to next session as well?
No, it isn't. As I mentioned,
Okay.
it would only be for one session. That's
Okay.
why I'd like. Listen, again, it's just a request. It's not an order. It's not a command.
In between
I just think it
transitioning,
would be very funny.
in between transitioning, he just chugs a bunch of water.
It was funny.
You definitely got the enjoyment. I am Pondo the Man. You can catch me on YouTube or Twitch /Pondo the Man, or catch me on Thursday nights with Sid Alpha playing BattleTech, or whenever possible playing either Pokemon or Board Game Cult. Keep gaming real. Other than that, you can catch me on Sunday night playing my own campaign, IV, still my own world. I'll see you then.
Okay.
Satisfactory.
Yes, it is. What's sad is that I won't get to hear it again, but maybe next time you fall through some dark fog, I get to pull it back in.
And roll one.
Next time you gotta do the Bane voice.
No one speaks like that. Not a single person in the history of humanity that speaks in that accent.
You think you're? I used to be able to. I can't.
No.
I'll think about it. I'm
Nope.
doing it. It's going.
Gonna happen now.
It's done.
I'm like a Centauro. I'll break you, Talrod.
Darn, I wonder what will break first. Your mind or your body?
Oh shit! I lost the map.
Oh, it seems like your body.
I lost the map.
Chat,
Oh.
donate to Arthur's Patreon. Let's make this a thing.
No, that's not a thing. Don't do that. Friends will be back next week, probably. I don't know. Or will we not be? For some reason, I'm thinking that James is out on the 15th, right?
That's
Yes.
correct. In Spain.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Spain.
I'm going to have multiple interior combat set up. That's a lie. I might set up one, and then I'll give myself some time to set up a second. Because nothing says gene stealers like slowly crawling through tunnels filled with mutants and hordes of aliens right up until you get to that egg chamber.
There's a board game for that.
There are several board games for that.
So in the next 2 weeks, I have 54 hours of flight. So if there's anything I can help work on for you, I'll have time to burn.
I'll think about it. Thank you for the offer. Have a good night, everybody. We lost Pondo, so we're basically over. No, Pondo, you don't need to sit down. We're good.